Welcome to Virginia. So yeah, as we head south down to Florida, we're getting into Virginia now. The next states, North Carolina and South Carolina, those take longer. But once you get past Virginia here, you're at least pretty much past most of the congestion. You just got to get through Virginia area. And, then we just, it's a little bit more relaxed driving vibe, but there's less turnoffs for stores and things of that nature. North Carolina has some in the beginning, but once you get into deep North Carolina, South Carolina, and even some of Georgia, I mean, they have turnoffs where you can stop at a gas station, McDonald's, but there's not an abundance of resources, not an abundance of gyms, at least not right off of like I-95. So, in the beginning, in Virginia and in the beginning of North Carolina are the last like major densely populated areas that have the resources, all the stores and the conveniences that you want. And then as you get into further North Carolina and South Carolina, there's less of that without going east or west into the state. So, but either way, it's a bunch of bridges and roads that interconnect the Virginia area. It's a hub. There's a lot of opportunity in Virginia. There's a lot to be said for it. So I know that a lot of people found a lot of work here in this area because it is a very vibrant economy in Virginia. So a lot of different industries. And of course you have the federal government, which gives government contracts to a lot of private companies that are in Virginia. So you have a hotbed of economic activity in Virginia if that's something that you wanted to base your life. Now, depending on what part of Virginia, right? I mean, West Virginia is different than Virginia right off I-95. So there's different parts of Virginia, and they're like every state, like every part of the world, I'm sure. So, it is what it is. Virginia gets cold, though, in the winter. It's, to me, still considered the Northeast. So, you're certainly, when it gets to January, February, March, there's freezing conditions. Okay? So, really, even South Carolina, I mean, it may be a little bit warmer in Georgia, but in the dead of the winter, those states get hit with cold weather too. Seriously, Florida, South Florida is really where you want to be in the dead of the winter. But we're still in fall, so there's pretty much mild temps throughout the country. Fall, September, October, even into November somewhat, is the moderate temperature that covers the country. Okay, so it's not really, now there's some exceptions in the outskirts, the very edges of the country, very northeast, when you talk about Maine and things like that, of course Alaska, and of course the southern points are still very warm, but in general speaking terms, this season, fall season, is a moderate climate throughout the country. And as we get into winter, which winter technically doesn't start till the end of December in the United States of America. And I think this year it's like December 21st or something. So once you get into January, February, March, which is basically winter, that's when you get the temperatures that are troublesome for equipment and for people. It causes a little bit of havoc, so. But here on I-95, you got the Easy Pass, which is a digital toll system where you don't have to stop to pay someone. They just scan your little digital like receiver that you have with a suction cup to your windshield, which I have. And because there are tolls along I-95 here on your trip, if you're traveling from New Jersey to Florida, there's tolls. But for the most part, and I believe that, they do have cash. In most of the places, they have still have at least one or two cash places where you can pay in cash and get change, but there's not many, and in some places they'll just bill you by your license plate, even if you don't have Easy Pass. They'll send you a bill in the mail because pretty much things have transitioned to pretty much everything digital toll system in the United States of America, with some exceptions in smaller areas or with some few cashier options. But Richmond, Virginia is what we're passing through. Another day is what we're living. An adventurous life living on the road, but a tiresome life, like I've often shared with you. Humans are creatures of habit. A nomad is still a human, so a creature of habit, but is willing to deal with some adaptation and pain to travel. Whether it's seasonal or constant or once in a while. It's nomad is simply someone who doesn't have a permanent place. So, that's the definition pretty much. So, do I want a permanent place? Well, like I said, with my mom's still alive, I want to keep flexibility. Middle age, I still like flexibility in case something changed in my life. But, you guys know, eventually at some point, one time or another, there'll be some home base in Florida. But every day I get through is another day I get through, and I just try to focus on that and remember to enjoy my life. Because, how long have I been talking about a home base, and how much have I just continued to make it through each day and enjoy my life as best I can for me? And so everyone's different with that. Certainly if you're raising a family and if you're not moving around like a nomad, you're going to have to make that decision more urgently, whether you rent or buy or whatever you do, right? So. Someone with single, no pets, no kids, you got more options. I still do think about my mom in the equation. I like to live on wheels in case something changed and I need to go visit my mom or do something. So, but we are just persevering, guys. I'm just trying to get closer to Florida to get more joy, because it's still a little sad traveling away from New Jersey, where I was, getting comfortable, but the temperatures are still moderate. So if it was the dead of the winter, the fire would be lit under me to get the hell out of there. Sometimes the pain has to get worse. But I would also say that, too, if you leave in the dead of winter, then you're like, well, in 3 months, if I want to, I can come back up north. Do I want to come back up north? Not really. Again, it's just, mainly just to see my mom. But this is part of life. So what else can I tell you? I can just tell you that take breaks, because in about an hour I'm going to take another break. I'm going to get out, stretch my legs, go to the bathroom, and that's it. Can you do this trip in one day? Yeah, you could. I've done it. Do it in 2 days is very easy. 3 days, you're very much taking your time. So right now, though, we're just going to take it one step at a time, just trying to cover as much ground as I can, make videos along the way to share with you. If you're a YouTuber, make videos between 5 to 10 minutes, sometimes up to 15 minutes, whatever, and save them and upload them. Don't list them as public until the day that they go public. Why? Because you should always have a couple videos in your back pocket. Why? You want to keep a consistent upload schedule. Do you want to live for YouTube? No. You want to live for your life, but if YouTube is going to be a side hustle, it's a job. So you better have some type of structure. And if it's not a job, if it's just a hobby, then throw a frisbee. Shit. If making videos is just a hobby, you're basically saying it's like throwing a frisbee. So I don't know how many people get too excited about throwing a frisbee. So, it is what it is. It is what you make it, the effort you put into it, etc. Either way, guys and girls, that's another video. You appreciate these videos, click that thumbs up. If you want to support the channel, click that blue join button. Check out my thousands of free videos on my playlist on my YouTube channel. Subscribe if you're not. Leave a comment below. I appreciate positive comments. And I will see you guys and girls in the next video. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it.